Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here, back in the UK, back in front of the blue wall, no blue sea anymore. I preferred the blue sea. I wish I was in front of the blue sea, but I'm back. Absolute long haul flight back, so I am on absolutely running on fumes right now. 23-hour flight back from Sydney, with a little hour stop to refuel in Singapore on the way back. Obviously, don't cry for me. I had a great holiday. It was absolutely fine. So you might remember me telling you pre-season, kind of going into the season, prepare yourselves to see a lot of low balls into the box from square, kind of out wide. Because that was all we saw out in Singapore and Perth, and also Bangkok as well, in the training before the game that never was against Leicester. All they do in training, so all they were doing in training sessions, was defence would actually not take part. They would just get, the wingers would go down the sides, all wing backs, and they would cut the ball in for whoever the central striker, either Sonny, Richarlison or Kane back then. And yes, I saw Kane's hat-trick and his lovely own half goal. I still feel like the one he did against Chesney in pre-season was a better one, I think. I'm trying to remember it, but I kind of feel like that one was one of the best goals I'd seen. But anyway, back to the training. Yeah, every single one. They really didn't concentrate on balls high into the box whatsoever. It was always get to the byline, pull it back, or get to the kind of halfway mark of the penalty area down the sides and cut it across. And I've probably said this before, I think I definitely actually did say it before, it was always going to benefit Sonny, because Sonny is okay in the air. You know, he's not like a big, he's not like maybe Richarlison or Kane in the air, but he will get you the odd-headed goal. But what Sonny is so brilliant at is picking out that little movements into the box, maybe slightly undetected. And I always kind of felt that this low crossing game was going to suit him, like, you know, down to the ground. And so it proved to be, or so it has proved to be. I mean, he's got eight goals already now in the Premier League, and the way he's going, it's going to be a 20-goal season for him in the Premier League alone, I think. And both goals Friday night, both came from kind of balls into the box. Sarr knocking it into Maddison, low balls into the box, and then Johnson into Son. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how teams over the course of the season try to counter that, how to stop those low balls in, because it's probably harder to stop that than it is to stop balls just slung into the box going in high. Because the beauty is with the low crosses is you can overload, and you can pull a ball back to the edge of the area. You can get midfielders steaming into doing it. Presuming that is why Postecoglou does that, because he, it gives you so many different options to score goals as well. Sonny was talking about Vicario afterwards. He said, before we scored, without Vic's saves, we are going behind. And when you go behind in this stadium, you know what's going to happen. So I think big credit to Vic for making unbelievable saves. I'm enjoying every single moment with him because he made a good save. He's playing out well, and it's fantastic to have him behind the goal. But behind in the goal, I think he means. It's probably just a missing word there. Obviously, any game we're going to face chances and shots on target. When you have Vic behind us, you're just very comfortable. He's going to make unbelievable saves, which he did. Big credit to Vic today. And also the way he plays with his feet is fantastic. It brings so much to the team, and I'm very happy to have him in the team. Richarlison, I still don't think he's found exactly how he needs to play in this Postecoglou system. It'll come. You know, we weren't sure whether it was century, weren't sure where it was left, weren't sure exactly how he was going to profit from the way that Postecoglou's teams work. But again, I think I go back to what I said before. It's about just differing options. You know, you bring Richarlison into a game if you want that little bit of, someone that can hold the ball up with their back to the opposition goal, someone that can cause a problem in the air, someone that can just be a bit of a nuisance compared to the other players. But yeah, I still think I stand by my original statement way back that for a £60 million player, still not scoring enough goals for me. But 쿨루셉스키 is falling into that at the moment as well. Look, 쿨루셉sky probably does more off the ball that's noticeable, but both of them, I think, they just need to up their numbers. And I think that at the moment is why the attack isn't absolutely flying right now. Because I seriously believe when this Postecoglou team is in its full flow, you're going to be seeing 3-0s, 4-0s. You're going to be getting some big scorelines. But right now, it's kind of everyone's having to chip in with the goals in the other areas of the pitch. And up front, it kind of feels like it's all on Sonny. And the others will come. As for Sonny, yeah, again, he can kind of afford to be quiet in moments because, and I think a lot of that was down to the service, get him in the ball. He only touched the ball 29 times in the game. That's not enough, really. But he just showed that one moment he can get. And it was a really nice finish from Johnson's pass. 8 goals, 10 games in the Premier League. Yeah, superb. You know, he's going to push Haaland. I think he will. I think he really, really will. Haaland, we know, is a goal machine, and City are going to create a lot of chances for him. I'm recording this before all of these Sunday matches kick off, so it may well be that Haaland goes on and scores a handful of goals in the Manchester derby. But, yeah, Sonny's going to have a great season. And then we had the return of Rodrigo Bentancur, which was so lovely. Obviously been out since the start of February, that ACL injury at Leicester. Oh, I remember just being there and hearing the screams. It was horrible. Just knew something awful had happened. Worked incredibly hard. They said, Postecoglou said November he felt, and here we are. You know, October hasn't finished and he's back out there. That's testament to his incredibly hard work. And do you know what? I thought it was quite fitting that his old Juventus teammate 쿨루셉스키 was coming off for him to come on. I don't think I've ever seen a player so happy to come off. And it's not because he wanted to come off. It was because he knew who was coming on for him. He had a big grin, 쿨루셉스키. And it was such a big cheer from the away fans. You could hear it. Even on my little phone, you could hear it. Of Bentancur coming on. It meant so much. It was the end of a long and difficult road for Bentancur. And it was just fantastic to see him back out there. 89th minute, and I think the fact that they ended up getting so much added time was probably a bit of a surprise as well. So he had a bit of a run out there. He had, I think he only touched the ball 7 times. Let's have a look. I've got it here. No, I haven't got it here, but I have a feeling the number was something like 7 times. And he immediately got a touch of the ball because they knocked a quick short free kick to him, so that was great. He just kind of got the touch of it as well. And yeah, what was even lovelier was when the game finished, was that he had this lovely moment in front of the away fans. He went over with the team, and then I think it was Basuma first pushed him in front of them, so he had his own little moment. That was lovely. And then when that had happened, and he did they just all gathered round him. They were all kind of just hugging him. It was just a perfect moment to just kind of represent. I could imagine he probably got quite emotional as well, because, you know, I don't know. I haven't been in that position. What it must be like to come back from, you know, what's approaching a year, isn't it? It's 3/4 of a year or so out of the game, and you probably fear. You fear whether you're going to come back the same. You fear whether you're even going to come back, maybe. I remember Eric Lamela used to speak about this when he had his issues and the problems and the fears of would he even make it back on a football pitch. We have so many players that don't, and just to be able to do that was just superb. It was brilliant. And I think Sonny said he kind of got a little bit emotional as well. He said after the game, it made me smile, as in when he saw him coming back on. What an unbelievable player. Having him in our squad is like a new signing. We couldn't wait to have him back. And when he came on today, I was getting emotional because he's a good friend of mine. And then I enjoy every single moment. Even last year when I suffered with the injury, as he was always pushing behind me. I'm just really grateful that he came back healthy, and I hope he doesn't get injured anymore so that he can stay fit and help the team. It's a massive boost for the team, and I'm very, very happy to have him back.